Conversations about how the world's best apps grow, by design, not by chance, with the people and systems behind them.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Growth by Design. And I'm really excited to introduce our guest for today, Anastasiia Avramenko.
It turned out that these two are the most loneliest generation ever. We tried TikTok ads for like $50 per day, and we saw that the cost per install was 5x, I think, lower than it was with Meta. If I had no money, I would go to TikTok ads first. Some app categories may not work on TikTok. Besides creating and keeping this huge spike, you need to think about what will you do if it fatigues tomorrow, and I wasn't prepared for this. Gen Z are tricky to monetize. They are not easy to monetize. They can install, they can share, but they may not pay. The most successful people I know who work in growth or who are the founders, they are super passionate about the topic.
Hi, Nastya, and welcome. And could you please share a few words about yourself?
Hello, thank you for having me. So I work at marketing for more than 7 years, and most of this time I work with startups on a very early stage. And what I do is I help startups to grow from 0 to 1. Usually I'm a solo marketer, solo person, so I have to do a lot of things. I have to be super creative, how to use the tiny budget that we have, how to grow organically so we survive and we go to that one phase. So I would say I work really well with TikTok organic, with Facebook ads, and it's something that I'm excited about the most. But yeah, it's in a nutshell about me.
Thank you so much. And you mentioned you often work as a solo marketer, and I know it's really challenging and tough. And for example, when you start as a solo marketer in a new campaign, in a new company, you learning a lot. You need to learn a lot on the go, and also to help the company. So we'll talk a lot about organic growth today, not less about pet, I think. So first of all, I wanted to ask you, I read your LinkedIn, and you guys subscribe too. We will leave the link to Anastasia's LinkedIn in the description to this video. So on LinkedIn, you shared that you grew an app from as far as I remember, 20K installs to 16 million with under 5K budget. Is it even real? And could you please share more about that? And what stands behind it, virality or something else?
Yeah. So the budget was 5K per month, more or less. I don't remember the exact number, but the idea is that it wasn't huge as apps usually have. And this is a really rare case when all sides of the product, marketing, app itself, audience come to the perfect, place and work really well together. It's an app that's called Obey Me. It's a Ukrainian app that helps Gen Z and Gen Alpha to stay connected. The app is to, for example, I add you as my friend, and whenever I feel that I want to interact with you somehow, I can send you a hug or kiss or any gesture. I can change my mood so you know when I'm, anxious or tired or happy. So Gen Z are using this app to connect between each other. And it turned out that these two are the most loneliest generation ever, and they didn't have a solution like that for their problem, because on Instagram you wouldn't share that I'm sad today or I want some attention, and you can do it on TikTok too. But on the Buy Me app, you could do this, and you could just say that you're sad, and 20 people will see it and reply. And we had a lot of iterations on what channel to choose, what audience to choose. And I remember we had some talks with 35 plus audience who were saying that nobody needs your app, don't do this, it's a bullshit. And we were trying to find the product market fit, we were trying to find the positioning, and I tried a lot of things. Maybe like I had 6 months of just rapid testing, meta ads, Reddit, Quora, Facebook groups, like a lot of different things. And we tried TikTok, and we saw some like just a tiny spike on installs, just some tiny metrics that were saying us that something should be there. And we tried TikTok ads for like $50 per day. And we saw that cost per install was 5x, I think, lower than it was with Meta. So we kept digging. I wasn't a TikTok user, so I had to like spend hours a day of learning how Gen Z talk on TikTok, what language they use, what videos they create. And I was just creating a lot of videos. And after 3 months of doing this type of work, we went viral. We went viral for Ukrainian audience first, but then we went viral on the US, on Canada, on different English-speaking markets, and we had like huge spikes in installs. And here it's when we understood that not marketing had the right time, but also the product itself was right, because to use the app you had to add one friend. So if we attracted one person with TikTok, they would bring 1.5 or 2 people with them. So it was some market effect that we had, and yeah, it was great. And the app design was super super fun, super easy to understand from the screenshot. So our audience started to promote this app on their social media. They were saying like, add me to friends in this new viral app. So we had like UGC army that were promoting the app. We had our account. We also partnered with Eurovision, with Universal Music.
Wow.
So it was like a lot of things during the first months. Yeah, it was great. I'm happy to share more and answer to more questions.
Wow, this is really huge. Thank you so much, Nastya, for sharing. So you mentioned that although some people were saying that no one's going to use this app or this product, like eventually it was a product market fit, right? Because you found your target audience, like you researched and you found this audience on TikTok. And you mentioned that like one of the early signs was like a small tiny spike in installs, right? So, and you grabbed this opportunity and continued like doing what you were doing, right?
Yeah.
So it's so in essence, just to clarify for our audience, you were running ads, right? We are talking now about ads on TikTok, not creating like user-generated content.
Mostly I created just content for our page. And also we had $50 per day budget that I could use.
Yep.
So I was like, I was speeding up the test. I wanted to test a lot of things at once. And I wanted to see what content exactly will lead us to revenue, will lead us to installs. So I used this tiny budget to see like some early signals, but then we went viral organically, and we didn't need ads for, I don't know, for a few months, and we used ads only to test some hypotheses. For example, I had a hypothesis that if we start motivating people to leave their nickname on a buy me in comments, it will help people with no friends to find friends. So to do it faster, I just ran ads on this video. Or if we had a hypothesis about some positioning, I would run ads just to like speed up the test, to see numbers fast. But basically, first, I think 6 months, it was almost no ads. We tried Snapchat ads after 7 or 8 months as an experiment. But besides that, we didn't run that much.
Wow, it's really interesting because it sounds like a mixture. Like you tested hypothesis, like you researched the audience, how this platform works, being not a user yourself, and you like smartly leveraged this budget you had, this $50 per day, and it resulted in really huge outcome. So in short, like to summarize for our audience, how like did you put this into a kind of growth system so that it wouldn't just burn out, so that it wouldn't just stay as a like lonely spike? You like saw these installs, small virality, and then like it burned out. What did you do?
It was a big learning curve how to maintain this, because of course you have one viral video and maybe it will work for a week in best case scenario, and maybe it will bring you some installs for a week, but then you have to keep going. And what I found early on is that I just tested a lot of things, a lot of different hooks, a lot of different formats of the content. And I noticed that for now, content where the hook starts with when I feel sad, when I feel lonely, when I'm tired, I use this app or I do this and feel okay. I also noticed that videos that were around 6 to 8 seconds performed better because it's easier to maintain higher retention. And also, we had a really great notification system in the app. So when you, I don't know, scroll TikTok, you have a notification from a buy me that Nastya hugged you or something, and people really loved it. They really loved seeing that you can be doing something and people will be sending you some activities. So when I showed this within like first 2 or 3 seconds, it also caught people's attention. And I just started making a lot of variations on this format. I started to test different hooks, different actions, but they all needed to be around those 3 rules: 6 to 8 seconds, hook about when I feel something, I do this, and our notifications. And this is how we could squeeze, I don't know, 20 viral videos out of one idea. Yeah, and it was really important, like, to repurpose the same content and the same viral idea. And it was like super easy just to maintain the same amount of installs and make it predictable. But the problem was that back then I didn't know that this idea itself, it will fatigue sooner or later. And in 3 months, people were not interested in seeing this type of videos about when I feel sad, when I feel lonely. They wanted something different, and I wasn't prepared for this. I was doing a lot of variations. I was working on creating variations on that video, and I wasn't thinking about testing new concepts and new formats. And this was a big learning point for me that besides creating and keeping this huge spike, you need to think about what will you do if it fatigues tomorrow, and you need to be on this cycle every day. You need to expect that tomorrow this video will fatigue, so nobody will be interested in your app. What will you do?
Oh my gosh. What did you do? You changed to when you feel like you want to meet your friends, like to talk to your friends, like you changed the emotion, or you took like the whole another approach?
Yeah, I tried different approaches. Like before, I recorded my phone with the app, and I started to recording myself. I started to record other people. I started to do some videos with the voiceover, like just a lot of different things. And it was really hard to be at that point when you had a lot of views. I remember 1 month we updated the app with a new design, with with a lot of different actions, and we had 3 million installs in a month. And then 2 months after, this is not interesting anymore, and all these hooks and all these ideas that are not interesting. So I had to come up with something super fast, and it was very stressful. So now I know that nothing is forever, and that you need to think about new ideas, and you need to have something to replace that viral idea.
Yeah, so you have to have some backup ideas in your pocket. And what do you think? Is it about TikTok solely, or it can be applied to mobile marketing, like in general, and mobile growth?
Definitely the same with Facebook ads. With all the content, people just there are a lot of interesting things and a lot of interesting trends on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram. So it's not possible to have the same trending for a few months or for a year. You need to come up with different angles all the time to keep the audience entertained. So yeah, I think it's applicable to all the content, all the channels,
and to mobile growth in general.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. Very interesting. And what about TikTok? Like, I know, and I have to confess that I've been a bit skeptical about this channel too, because I'm not a user myself, as you mentioned about you prior to starting work for Avramenko. So many people think that this channel, this platform, this app is for Gen Z solely, or also you mentioned Alpha, and like in general, what you just shared, it's in line with this assumption to me, because like people who are older than 35 that you mentioned, millennials, they were like against the app, like I think they don't quite understand the channel. So do you agree with this assumption, or it can be quite risky to think this way if you're a mobile marketer?
Yeah, I disagree. I had a few cases when I was able to attract the audience that was older than 35 years old. And I see a lot of big brands that put the budget that is bigger than on Meta ads to TikTok ads, because their audience who pays, it's on TikTok, and it's definitely not 15 or 18 years old people. It's a mature audience. So I think each brand has to go there and test and see if their audience is there or not. But yeah, it's a common thing to think that it's for Gen Z only. But let's be biased and let's look at our parents or our relatives. My grandmother loves TikTok, for example.
And so sweet.
Yes. And you can see a lot of adult content, a lot of content about that is not interesting for Gen Z yet. but that is relatable to adult audience, there are like billions of views. They're like the biggest indicator that it's not for Gen Z is if you're if you see big competitors or big companies to spend money there. If you see their ads there, it means that they have the reason to be there. They wouldn't be spending money on something that they cannot have a payback on. So
yeah, good point.
But I would say definitely it's definitely not for everyone and not for every company, but it's a really nice channel to test faster than on Instagram or Facebook or Meta ads. And if you have a chance to test fast and to get the feedback fast, and you have the courage to create content, I would go for it because the payoff can be super big.
So you should just test it, just try, and then decide for your company, for your app, whether it works. And you just mentioned that it is faster than testing on Meta. So could you please outline how you should treat this channel TikTok differently compared with like Meta we've already mentioned, or Google or Apple Ads? I don't know.
Yeah, so as far as I remember, because I haven't been running TikTok ads for a year maybe, it has different requirements from Meta ads. On Meta ads, you have minimal budget, you have minimal number of events that you need to meet in order to make a campaign go out from the learning phase. And on TikTok, you just reach this number of events faster, and it's way cheaper compared to Meta ads. So that's why it's really suitable for small startups, because you don't have to like have 10K per month minimum like you need to have on Meta in order to test something. You can run the campaign super fast. You don't need to deal with a lot of things that Meta has. You just launch the campaign, you connect the events simply, and that's it. And if I had no money or a little bit of money, I would go to TikTok ads first rather than playing with Meta ads and getting nothing out of it.
So it has less bureaucracy, as far as I understand. It's faster for testing. It is cheaper. I see like the whole lot of advantages only.
Yeah.
No,
but disadvantage is that it's different platform. And again, as we said, maybe your audience is not there. But if it's there, it can be a really great channel for you.
Awesome. That could be a win-win. And we shortly touched how you first faced this, like with a Buy Me. But in general, let's discuss two different approaches to TikTok, if they exist, of course. I mean, like organic approach, like creating content, making it viral, producing it consistently, and running TikTok ads. In general, can we even like divide these approaches this way, or they, in your opinion, they are always interrelated in this or that way?
You can do both at the same time, and I think you can do organic or ads separately. It depends on the goal. It depends on the budget you have. Usually I start in startups, again, from 0 to 1. I start with organic to see if organically we can find our audience, if we can make people install the app without spending money on ads. And then if organically it's viral, it's super easy to just put the same videos on Spark ads and squeeze even bigger amount of installs of revenue out of the video by like putting some money behind it. And I would say that TikTok ads can be used as it was in my case with low budget to test hypothesis to like speed up the test. Or it can be used as a scaling machine when you have some concepts that are working, and basically use TikTok ads in the same way as we use Meta ads, having a lot of variations on one concept, running different experiments, having web funnels and optimizing by different steps on web funnels, or like everything the same that we do with Meta ads, but on different platform with maybe slightly different audience, maybe and different ad creatives.
So you can basically start with organic content, start testing the water, and then like see what you can do. For example, you can scale by sprinkling a bit of your ad budget if you can. I've recently read an article about a weather app. I think it was like further than 200 in the US ranking for weather apps. And then something happened. A photographer, shared this app on TikTok video. It's an app about like the sun direction, or how the shadow falls, and he recorded this video, and within 24 hours, it moved from like this further like bottom position, like 200 plus, to 7th, if I'm not mistaken, in just 24 hours. So I wanted to ask, is it, I think the answer should be yes, but is it important to work with influencers and content creators on TikTok to collaborate? And if so, how to better do that, like to achieve such results?
I only had bad experience with influencers. With paid influencers. I had great experience with users who want to promote the app because they like it. But I had really bad experience with agencies, with influencers. TikTok also has TikTok Creator Marketplace, where you can just pick the creator, give them a task, give them script or not give them a script. And for some reason, all the videos looked like TV ad.
Oh.
And here, I think if you want to work with influencers, you need to treat it as a job for another person, for the person who would do it full time, who would negotiate, who would speak with other people, who would check the payback from each of the influencers, because in my experience, it's not that easy as it sounds. I was working with the community management, and I was working with motivating users to post about us. And it was super natural and super easy. And it helped us a lot in our marketing to see how people articulate about our app, what hooks they use, what hook worked for them. But with influencers, I haven't had great experience yet. But I look at all these cases, like Kelly case, where they just hire a lot of, like, I don't know, hundreds, thousands of influencers to post 3 to 4 times a day. And I think it should be possible. But if you know why you're doing this, if you're ready to spend some money before it pays you back, and maybe it will cost you a couple of months or something. But I would definitely love to try it when the time comes.
Yeah, well, bad experience is also experience. So, it's really nice that you had positive experience with user-generated content, and you reached a virality loop, as far as I understand, when like users continued recommending the app to their friends, and that's really awesome. And about Cal AI, I've also heard about that. And what do you think? It's about like specific app categories where TikTok might work like for them, or it doesn't matter and it's more about content which can lead to growth in this channel?
It's a really good question. There are certainly some app categories may not work on TikTok, and some like AI proven that that fitness content works really good on TikTok. So it's really hard to say. It's better every time I consult someone or I just like start a new project, I just look at the competitors. And if there are no competitors on TikTok, but they are on Meta ads, on Instagram, on Facebook, it's a sign that maybe they tried and something didn't work. And maybe it was content, but maybe it was just the platform and suitable for this type of problem. I believe that with great content, you can try and just achieve installs. But the problem is that the quality of the audience, maybe they came just to check it out because it's viral. Will they stay for a longer time? So yeah, again, you need to test and you need to see how it works in your case. But I saw like crazy cases of people selling something that you wouldn't sell anywhere, like I don't know, hats for the sauna, or like something that can you cannot imagine it to be viral, but it is viral, and the people make trends out of it. People love seeing these videos, and actually there is a Ukrainian company. I don't remember how they called, but they just do a lot of sketches for different offline brands, like for the flower brands, and they do some drama series around the seller and the buyer, or the brand of the pharmacy, where like they just do drama series. And I think, well, like if you are creative enough to come up with this type of content ideas, if you have time, it's definitely possible to go viral, even like with some niche product. But yeah, there are definitely products that can go viral easier because it's someone proved that this content can be on TikTok and it's working. And there are type of apps that will be challenging to promote, and you will have to spend some time to figure out how to do that. And maybe it's 3 months or 6 months or a year. So yeah, the question is if you want to do that or you want to go on a faster route and go to other channels and or paid ads.
Yeah. Thank you, Anastasia. And I also wanted we talk about virality because like TikTok and virality, I think, often come together when someone discusses the success of this channel. But like, what did you do, or what would you do to like divide this kind of virality effect from the real growth, the real impact on revenue, for example, or the impact on ASO on the App Store, because there are also cases I know when an app launches, like for example, a challenge. I forgot the name of an app. It's about Focus Flight, I think, and they launched a faceless challenge, like inducing users to record videos how they use this app for learning.
Yeah.
And I think they they also paid like to some of the users who achieved the best results. I'm not sure, but I think they paid. And the app grew, and it received, as far as I remember, like 200k installs, additional installs. So, like, can you like somehow divide this virality and see the real impact on ASO, on other metrics down the funnel, like revenue, lifetime value, or you would need time for that, like to pass to understand that?
You mean that if we can attribute the virality from the post to specific revenue and so on?
Yeah, you mentioned that, like, for example, for some apps, someone comes quickly to an app, but that's not something that is really interesting to them, like in the long run, and they just skip. So I mean, like, something sustainable that, for example, a user installs an app and stays for longer, or such, like, recipes for that just don't exist.
So you mean that if we can track this, basically?
Yeah, sure.
Of course. You have the analytics. You have, usually, if the app is not super big, like unicorn big, or just big, as for example, as it was with the Buy Me at the beginning, we had only one channel, organic, and we had, for example, one viral video per week. So we knew that we launched the video today, and we have a spike today that is going to, to last for 7 days. So we take the cohort of today, of users that installed today, cohort the users that installed tomorrow, and like for some period that the post is viral, and we see how they behave later. If they unsubscribe, if they invite other friends. And with TikTok audience, it can be tricky sometimes if it's Gen Z, because Gen Z are tricky to monetize. They are not easy to monetize, and they can install, they can share, but they may not pay. Or they usually they say, can I watch some ads so you can give me the subscription for free, or something like this, because they don't have money yet. So it's really important to measure all the spikes and look not only into installs, but actually on revenue, on the retention rate. Because the virality can sound big, but actually you may not get any money from it, and you will just close the company in a few months with a lot of installs and with zero revenue.
Again, you shared an interesting insight that Gen Z are less ready to pay right away than probably other generations. And I know that Gen Z, they are like kind of looking for themselves for longer. They are trying like various professions. So they might not have money yet. So you should keep this in mind if they are your target audience for your app. And you should keep this in mind on TikTok too. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Sorry. It also depends on the age, because I am Gen Z and I'm 27. But there are Gen Z who are 17. And we are like different Gen Zs.
Yeah, there is a gap for
age
sure.
Of life. So, and also it depends on the type of the app. Because if we take games like Roblox or other games where there are in-app purchases, where are some bundles that you can buy to boost your character or something like that. It's totally different. Like the monetization there and the payment behavior is different from if the, for example, teenager, they want to, I don't know, have some app to clean their iPhone or something like that. They might not pay for this, but if they need to boost the character or something else, they would think about this differently. So it also depends.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you here. And yeah, for games, it's whole another world, I think, a whole another thing. And yeah, gamers are more inclined to spend, I think. And let's our podcast is called Growth by Design, and we really talk a lot about mobile growth today. But I wanted to ask you specifically because I know you've shared your great experience, and I know that you had been consulting in the past in terms of growth marketing, and I think you've seen a lot and have something to share with us. So I wanted to ask, what mindset do successful growth teams, in your opinion, share? Is even this mindset exists, or it's just a myth, and like it all depends?
It's a really great question. I think there is definitely a mindset. It's definitely a team that is super hungry for the result. They are not the type of team who have calm day, predictable week. They do task to do the task, not to achieve the result. And growth teams, they are focused around the goal. They are ready to experiment. They are ready to go and think out of the box. And it's not about like overworking or like working on the weekend. It's just about thinking, what can I do today to achieve my goal that I set for myself, or that we as the team set for ourselves. And it's always like thinking about the solution, thinking about what experiments I can run to move faster. It's always thinking about the speed, because a lot of companies have run away and they cannot afford to test, to do some things just to do. They have some period of time when they need to succeed. So you always need to be thinking about how I can improve myself, how can I earn more, how can I achieve more, and not because of someone told you, but because you want this company to succeed. And also I think it's really important to work with a company that you like, that values that you are sharing. And the most successful people I know who work in growth or who are the founders, they are super passionate about the topic or the category of the app or of the product, and it helps them to overcome some difficult moments, or it helps them to find the solution faster, rather than if you don't care about this company at all, and if you just go to work to do something, but not to actually achieve the result.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Like throughout my career, if you are passionate about doing something like as part of your work, you are more inclined to achieve this success, because you are like struggling and actively looking for new things, trying them out. So you are getting more chance to succeed, that it will work eventually, than if you are just like doing what they want you to do, let's say so. And also, maybe what's the biggest mistakes or mistake you've noticed or you made yourself probably when scaling growth? Mistakes can be related with, for example, even hiring people. You mentioned that you often start as a solo marketer and start growing. Probably you hired someone, or you saw that someone did it in the wrong way? Could you please share with us too?
Yeah, so in terms of hiring, I think the biggest mistake that you can do if you hire a growth manager is not to look at the results. Usually, or very often, I see resumes of people saying, I was running ads, I was doing this, I was doing that, with no actual results. So I see that probably this person is not focused around results, or they never had a influence on the result and they maybe didn't want to. Maybe this person is about process more. And I work in a startup with 6 months runaway and I need the result next month. So my goal, if I want to talk to this person anyway, my goal would be to ask if they are result-centered, what results they achieved, how did they approach this, and that, what growth they had, or vice versa. So yeah, I think this would be the first big mistake when it comes to me as an employee creating the resume, and me as an employer reading resume and reading if this person is the right fit for this role. It would be like the first indicator. And in terms of mistakes in general, yeah, as I said, when you have this virality, and when you're like, wow, we are top one in 45 countries, we can do anything, and you don't think that it might end tomorrow or in 2 weeks, so you are not doing anything to keep this growth going. You are not experimenting much. You are doing it too slow, or you're doing it in the wrong way, and it's a very painful experience. But maybe that everyone needs to experience. And right now, when I have some viral post or when I have some successful campaign, I'm not happy. I'm happy when I have a few different concepts that work, when I have hundreds of variations, and I know that if this fatigues, I have 5 others. And then I'm calmer just a bit.
So you're very self-demanding, but it helps you a lot, I think, like to achieve success.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first mistake is to like hire people, and the same for employees when they like are looking for a job, to not highlight key results, what you can like, not only generic things like skills, etc., that everyone can say, like I run Meta, for example, but concrete results. And the second is like, I would say, relaxing too early, right? When you already have achieved something, just you can just lay back and say, oh wow, I'm like on top of the world, because or your competitors. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, or even do this slow or slow down, or even do this at the same pace. You need to be doing it faster from the moment that something is successful, because it might end super soon.
Oh my gosh, so hard and so complicated to achieve success. Not only should you generate concepts, hypotheses, test them, but you should do them really fast, while it still works, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anastasia. Very interesting, and I really enjoy our conversation. But I also wanted to discuss some personal things, you know. I know that you live in Portugal, and I've never been to Portugal just yet, like only Spain. Like I think they are quite similar in some ways. So I wanted to ask you, how does it feel to live in such a sunny country, to live by the ocean? Could you please share your impressions?
It's a very tricky question, because Most of the people I know have winter right now with the snow, with the negative temperature.
With short and dark day,
yeah.
right?
So I try to answer this question carefully because Portugal is a really great country. The people are very nice. They encourage you to learn the language, but without pressing, as it is in other countries. They help you to finish the sentence. They wait for you to say 2 words in 1 minute. They're very sweet and kind and super welcoming. The nature as well is really great if you want to see ocean, mountains, fields, anything. If you want to see vineyards, everything you can reach in 2-3 hours. I live by the ocean, but I can go spend 3 hours in a car and I will be in the snow in mountains, which is great. So yeah, it's great. I really recommend visiting it for once, at least. Not to go to Lisbon only, but to explore the coastline, to explore small different villages, because it's great.
Fantastic. You sold it. I already want to come to Portugal. And I also saw on LinkedIn, I think that you recently, or probably not so recently, started learning surfing. So I wanted to ask you, is it hard for you? And in general, what do you think? Is it hard? And maybe some lessons from learning surfing that can be applicable to real life, to growth, to career?
It's a great question. Surfing is a very challenging sport when you are an adult. I have a fear of water from my childhood. I wasn't able to swim till I was 16. So I'm very intense when it comes to the water. But I like to work with my fear, and I know that the only way to overcome is to face it, to see that nothing dangerous is there. You're still alive. You get great emotions. So it's really challenging and fun. Fun because you have all this process of driving to the surf spot, checking the waves, wearing the wetsuit, fixing your surfboard, go into the water, seeing some, I don't know, friends, some other people. You all sit on the water, you see how the waves are closing, how the sun is lighting the water. Then you ride the wave, you feel this freedom, you feel, I don't know, I feel like a child when I ride the waves. But at the same time, it requires a lot of physical, how do they say this? You need to be physically prepared to paddle. You need to have a good breath and a good heart, because it's very, it's a high intensive workout. It's hard.
You wouldn't say so. Like, it seems like they are standing, just standing, keeping the balance, and you say it's really hard.
My husband loses 700 how do you call this? Calories.
I forgot. Yeah.
Calories per session. So he can consume one McDonald's meal, and you're usually super hungry after. Yeah, it seems like you're just swimming, especially in these American movies, but actually you are paddling for your life every time because the waves is coming, it throws you. You need to paddle anyway, or you get sucked by the rip curl, so you need to fight for your life. And the most thing that happens when you learn how to surf is that you're constantly falling into the water. you drink the water, you hit the head with the board, somebody hits your head with their board, so you fall at hundreds of times per session, and you get used to it. You know that this is just a part of the process, and every time you try to learn something about the position you need to be, about the speed with what you need to paddle, and you're learning something, but you always failing and you are always falling. And I think it's you can do the parallel with the growth, because it's not just about successful ride and it means that next time the ride will be the same and from that time you are successfully surfing. No, the wind will go differently. It can start the tide can start going up, or the tide can start going down, or some other surfer will knock you with the board, and every wave will be different, and every wave can pull you down. The same with the growth. If you had one successful thing, don't expect it to be forever. Next time you will fail as well, but you will learn something and it's fine. And I use this analogy all the time, that failing is great, especially when you learn something about that fail, and not do same mistakes for a lot of times. But yes, surfing teaches me a lot of things about personal development, about that you can be sitting, waiting for the perfect wave, and every wave is like, oh, this could be mine or that could be mine, and you're sitting and waiting and wasting your time there when you could be catching waves actually. And it teaches you that you need to catch the wave when you think it's yours, when you need to catch the opportunity and try it, and even if you fail, you will go back and try another wave. So yeah, I really recommend surfing. If you ever visit, there are a lot of surfing schools. It's the best place in Europe to try surfing, with super chill conditions in one spot, and with harsh conditions as Nazare. We have a spot where there are 20-meter waves during
oh my
winter
goodness.
time, and they are surfable, so people are riding those waves, and we have surfing competitions here, so you can just watch to these brave people doing surfing. So yeah.
Yeah, wow. That's the whole new world to me you revealed now. Thank you so much. Really interesting. I'm really clumsy and I wouldn't survive, I think. But you are my hero. You not only overcame this fear of water, but you are doing this complicated thing. And interesting analogy that you mentioned, that you can sit and wait for the perfect wave, perfect moment in mobile marketing, and it may just never come. You should grab something closest to you, right?
Yeah.
Wow, really interesting. And speaking about growth, maybe there is a lesson also generally in life or in growth marketing. Is there any lesson you wish you learned earlier?
In general or in growth marketing?
Okay, let's narrow it down to growth marketing.
It's a hard one. I don't know. I have a lot of insights in my head. I can't pick one.
You can name a few. It's totally all right. I don't like limitations. I called one, but of course you can name a few. Even better.
Let me think.
Yeah, You shared really a lot of examples today. Yeah, I think, but probably there's something related to your early career, for example, that you learned just recently, and you're like, in retrospective, you're thinking, oh, why didn't I know it earlier, for example? Or lessons come like on the go while you're experimenting, and it's time for them to come.
Yeah. There is one thing, it's not about growth, but it's about personal growth that I notice in myself and in other people, is that we tend to diminish ourselves and think less than we actually are. And it comes in terms of salary, in terms of projects. And it really helps when you have some person near you who can highlight your strengths. Because me as a marketer, I always underestimate myself, and it helped me to grow. But also there are times when I need to find another job, go to interviews, and this underestimating doesn't help, because sometimes I'm ready to to say yes to super weird opportunity or something else, and I have my husband who is like, hey, you worth a lot more, just ask for it. And I'm like, no, I'm not. They don't have, I don't know, resources for me or something. And he's like, just try. And I'm like closing my eyes and trying, and they're like, yeah, fine, we can provide you this, we can give you this salary, we can give you this and this and that. So it's my insight of this year, because I was changing jobs. I had 59 interviews, that you don't need to underestimate yourself, and that you don't need to be afraid to ask for more, to demand more. If you feel like you are a good specialist, that you can bring value to this company, you don't need to be afraid and say, okay, I will work for candies, just let me work for you. And this is a big problem that I see in my colleagues.
I would totally agree with you, but in general, I think the most talented, smart, hardworking professionals, they tend to underestimate themselves, and they are in doubt almost all the time about themselves, about what they are doing. I forgot how this syndrome is called, but
Yes. Yeah.
You caught it. Yeah. So I agree with you totally, but at the same time, there is the other side that you mentioned, that there are a lot of resumes, CVs where people can sell themselves, without even probably highlighting some concrete specific results, and they are hired and they start working, and the time is spent. And only then, for example, companies and teams notice that there are no results. But those people are confident for sure, because they were able to kind of sell themselves. So really interesting. It's like kind of psychological, I think, thing and blocking. And also, Anastasia, we have a kind of idea to ask the next guest a question. Unfortunately, I haven't got a question for you just yet. But could you please start this tradition for us? And even though you don't know who this will be, please ask your question.
As I don't know who it will be, maybe it will be not the person from marketing, but from product or something like that. I want to ask just general question about what small things make you happy every day. Maybe it's work, maybe it's something else, maybe it's like rituals with coffee or playing video games. I think it really helps other people to know that besides work, besides growth, we have life to be lived, and that we need to think about how to spend our lives great and be happy.
That's really sweet of you, and really sweet question. And we haven't you haven't seen it yet because we haven't published the first episode with Basil. But it's interesting when I asked him about like TED Talks, and if he had to run a TED Talk, which topic he would pick. And he said like how something like that, how to live a happy life. Once I find out that myself, he said. So that's interesting, really. And to finish up, I also have a blitz for you. Let me just quickly open it. It's not directly related, to mobile marketing and growth, just in some aspects. Data first or intuition first?
Data first.
Data first. Porto or Lisbon?
Lisbon. Oh no, Porto.
Porto.
Yeah.
And ocean or mountains? I think I know the answer, or not?
Ocean.
Ocean. Agree with you here. Work at office or remote forever?
Remote forever.
A book or a movie?
Right now, it's a book.
And by the way, do you have a favorite book?
I just started reading, so I'm consuming all the books people recommend me. So I just like a lot of them. I recently read the book of Ukrainian author that I was like, oh my god, this is brilliant. That is called I See That You're Interested in Darkness. And yeah, I think this is one of my favorite ones.
Wow, hot take. And in case you watched or read those series, Harry Potter or The Lord of Rings?
Lord of Rings.
Okay, and my point goes to Harry Potter, so we have equal. Thank you so much, Anastasia. I really enjoyed our conversation. It's packed with insights, with interesting things that you learned through your own hands-on experience. And I think the audience will learn really a lot out of this about TikTok, about organic growth, and about personal growth and personal life too. Thank you so much for joining us. It was amazing.
Thank you so much. It was really nice to talk with you. Your questions, they all were super interesting, super great. Yeah, we'll be happy to answer any questions if people have them.
Yeah, guys, please connect with Anastasia on LinkedIn. Again, we are adding it as a link to our description, and let's stay connected.